Exercise C1 is a listening exercise. First, download the sound file. Listen to the conversations and choose A or B as the best sentence to complete each conversation. After you've done all 8 conversations, please check your answer with the answer key. Using passive gerunds and infinitives is the topic of Exercise C2. Read this article about campus stress, and then write the correct passive gerund or passive infinitive form of the verb in parentheses. Overwork is quite common. Being overworked. This is a gerund subject. Being overworked. Being, gerund. Overworked, past participle. Being overworked is quite common among university students. Students in academically demanding programs often tend to an extreme. You know that tend is followed by the infinitive. After you fill in all of the blanks, check your answers with the answer key. In Part B, use an item from each column to make 8 logical sentences. Now, there are many sentences that you could make. For example, you could say, I can't imagine being stressed about schoolwork. It's not that big a deal at all. Or you might say, I can't imagine being understood when I speak English. That means you have a very low estimation of your own spoken English. If you write, I can't imagine being given more responsibility, that means you feel that you have already been given enough responsibility, or perhaps too much responsibility, and you don't want any more. So there are many ways to write sentences, joining from the left to the right, but you do need to pay attention to whether using the gerund is correct or the infinitive. In exercise C3, look at perfect infinitives and perfect gerunds. In this exercise, Part A, you read excerpts from news articles about the theft of a painting from a major museum. Now the theft, that's a noun, and the person is called a thief. We don't know the thief's identity yet, but we do know about the theft. So that's why using passive voice is pretty common. The painting was reported stolen. You see, that's passive voice, right? The painting was reported stolen on Thursday night. It seems to have disappeared sometime between 10 p.m. and midnight. Disappear is an intransitive verb. It seems to have disappeared. That's the perfect infinitive. The police have arrested a man named Daniel Green. He denies having taken the painting. He denies having taken the painting. So having taken the painting shows an action that occurred before his denial. Now complete these exercises and then check your answers with the answer key. In Part B, go back to Part A sentences and examine which ones can be rewritten using the simple form without changing the meaning, and then rewrite them. Now you'll know from the beginning, in Part A, it seems to have disappeared sometime between 10 and midnight. It seems to have disappeared. This one we cannot rewrite. The second one, he denies having taken the painting. This one we can rewrite, he denies taking the painting. We could use the simple form instead of the perfect form because the situation is clearly about something that happened in the past. In exercise C4, you need to be thinking about meaning and use. Read the sentences and check same if the sentences have the same meaning, and check different if their meanings are different. Here are two sentences for number 1. It was unnecessary for you to have worried so much about the presentation. Your worrying about the presentation was unnecessary. These two have the same meaning. Number 2. I always love his coming to work late with some wild story. He loves coming to work late and telling wild stories. These are completely different meanings. All right, now you do the remainder and then check the answer key. In chapter, take 2. In exercise C5, you can practice speaking. You can think about something you would like to accomplish, but just can't seem to do. Maybe you'd like to learn to drive, to speak French, to juggle, to make sushi. Think of something that you would like to accomplish, but just can't seem to do. You can make some notes about your personal goal by answering the questions on this page. You can use some verbs and adjectives that are listed here. All right, so practice speaking and practice writing sentences that use the perfect gerund and the perfect infinitive.